Babies and toddlers, it's been said that they're like little sponges. They soak up everything. And here to help us grown-ups understand what is going on in their little minds is psychologist Amy Trout. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks.
I'm so excited to have you back. Some fascinating news, and we were just kind of chatting during the break. I have a 1-year-old, and I'm just so fascinated by the way that they learn. But we are learning some big things about them now, right?
They're amazing.
They are so amazing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think they're undervalued, right?
I think so. I think, old school thought about babies is kind of they're just irrational little needy creatures that don't really have much going on upstairs. But they do have a lot going on upstairs. They're like constantly learning and processing and absorbing information at a level that, really is much more aware than a lot of adults.
So what was the research before, and what is the development that we're learning now?
So, a lot has been done in the last 20 years about babies and their awareness. And what we've learned is babies are just constantly learning, and they're learning very broadly. They're little deductive reasoners. They're experimenting through play and trying to figure the world out, and they're doing a really good job. They actually do better than adults with testing out hypotheses that don't work, like things that don't make sense. They can make sense of them through play.
Right.
It's phenomenal. The research has exploded recently, I would say in the last 10 years especially, around, babies and toddler, those young ages and the ways that they learn and the ways that they really are constant information gatherers, and that's why they're so open, so creative, so imaginative, like really approaching life in a very different way. One researcher likened it to like an adult being in a new city, kind of taking in all the sights and sounds, having 3 like double cappuccinos, and being in love. Like when your brain is sort of on this overdrive of emotions and flooded. Yeah, it might make you wake up at 3 in the morning like exhausted and whiny, but at the same time, that's kind of their daily life all the time.
Well, and especially to the parents out there, how many times have you looked at your child or your baby and thought, what are they thinking? I mean, and you can tell there's something going on. And I was just explaining, my son is kind of learning words right now, learning language, and he will put his hands on my mouth when I'm talking to feel, like you said, the vibrations and how I'm talking and where my lips are moving.
It's amazing.
And he started doing that before 1, so that I think that's proof, even right there.
Yeah, they are constantly trying to make sense of things. They found between 15 months and 18 months, in that 3-month time span, there was an experiment done with broccoli and goldfish crackers, and the experimenter pretended with some of the babies that she liked the broccoli. And with the 15-month-old, they didn't care what she pretended, they just kept giving her the goldfish. Like, these are better, we're going to give you what's better. But by 18 months, the kids had empathy, and they wanted to give her what she wanted. And so they would look at the crackers and look at her kind of puzzled and go, all right, and give her the broccoli.
That's incredible.
Amazing that that's developing in their little brains.
And you were the study, I guess, was relating this to the lantern approach, right?
Yeah. So babies tend to, if you want to think of it kind of as they come into the world gathering knowledge more like a lantern. So a lantern will sort of brighten up a big area, where adults, the way our brains work and the way we've been trained to think and live, is more like a spotlight. So we look at what's important, what's necessary for that moment, and we take care of it, and then we move on to the next thing and move on to the next thing. A little rigid, not quite as plastic. But babies are kind of like all over the place. That's why it can be really hard for you to sit a 2- or 3-year-old down and brush your teeth or put on shoes, because they're like, there's 500 other things to do, and like, why not? I mean, there's a beauty in that we lose as adults, where the super creative and the uber like outside of the box thinkers have harnessed in some of that like research and development mindset.
So what is the key? What does this research mean for us, and how should it change our thinking?
We really need to appreciate what's going on. Really nurture and support play, because that's like their great lab. Instead of trying to find like educational toys or educational shows, really engaging with kids through play and letting them play and be children just as long as possible. I know there's educational models. Preschoolers are still teaching them how to do their ABCs and all that, and that's fine. But not to overemphasize that. That will come as the brain develops and as time develops, socially. Those things come. Allow play to exist. If
somebody wants to learn more about you and what you do, Amy, what should they do?
Sure. Well, they can contact us at Cornerstone Consulting. The number is 239-772-CARE, C-A-R-E, and we can definitely work with them on anything that they have related to families or parenting.
Fascinating news. And Amy joins us a lot, kind of our guide to parenting. As we always say, it doesn't come with an instruction manual, but certainly when you have somebody to talk to about those challenges, those ups and downs, certainly makes it a lot easier. So fascinating news about those babies. I'm really excited. There's much more to those to our little ones than those pinchable cheeks.
Oh, yeah.
I love them. All right, thank you so much, Amy. Great to have you back. If you'd like more on this segment, head online to our website. We'll have everything right there at fox4morningblend.com. It has been quite the year for Garth Brooks and wife Trisha Yearwood. Up next, how the super couple is ringing in the holidays with a duet album. I know lots of fans are excited for this one. And later, this guy is behind the wheel, but it's his voice that's turning heads. How you may recognize his iconic pipes. That's more. We've got more on that coming up after the break. Stay with us.